You're watching the Benelux speedrunning gathering, and I just heard that we are ready for. Oh, sorry. I heard we are ready for Mario Kart Double Dash. My name is Nandi, and first of all, I have a little donation of €2 from Habe Keine Name. I really enjoy BSG, nice runs, nice people, and a great work. I'm really looking forward to Mario Kart and Dark Souls 2. Good luck on the marathon, and take my money.
Yeah. All right. All right. I'll do a countdown in 3, 2, 1, go. Hey everyone. Welcome to Mario Kart Double Dash. So probably most of you already know the game, so I don't have to do much explaining there. However, in Double Dash, it's important to do lots of mini turbos. Now, a few things beforehand I'd like to mention. This is Alcantara. There will be 16 tracks here. The first one is always Luigi Circuit, and the last one is always Rainbow Road. Now, the other track will be randomized, so we can see every track in there. And I'll explain them as they come along. So I use the Bell Train. Bell Train is the fastest kart. I have to use lightweight as well, because those mini turbos actually last for half a second. Medium weight for around 0.3, and heavyweight, I believe, is around 0.2 seconds. And then another thing of notice is that I'm using the Koopas. I have to use the Koopas for sandbagging moves. I will show later on. Get out of there. There we go. So I need to get specific items, and it's a big part of RNG, as I just was about to mention. RNG meaning luck, obviously. So I won't be able to get a perfect time every time, but I'll do my best in order to get something cool here. There we go. Pretty alright. So Luigi is pretty interesting, as you have multiple lanes going through each other, but it's not too tricky once you get used to it. You'll know when the computer started attacking. Alright, so Yoshi Circuit, there's a real interesting trick here, which is the normal shortcut you do it with Shroom. However, you can do Shroomus. I'll give it an attempt. There we go. Sick. That's perfect, actually. So that saves around 0.7 if you do it like that, 0.5 otherwise, or something like that. However, it's very high risk and pretty low reward, actually, because a red shell already is, I don't know, a second and a half. So it doesn't actually save that much, even if you do get it 3 times in a row. So I won't be going for it afterwards, but definitely sets me up for a very good opening. Another thing about Yoshi is that it's a great track, actually, to practice drifting on. Speaking of which, I haven't mentioned this yet, but the drifting I'm doing is a little bit different than you might normally expect. First of all, I'm charging... Oh, no. There we go. So I'm charging the mini turbos not by actually wiggling as many people do, like they wiggle their stick from left to right, but you can actually tap it. So if you tap it in the opposite direction of the drift, you can charge your mini turbo that way. Besides that, there's an actual other trick that I use, which is a bit more advanced, called A-Tech. So with A-Tech, you have this directional boost after you do a mini turbo. And if you release A during that boost, you don't actually get the momentum from it. So with that, you can actually go like sideways, which I will show in other tracks as well. But primarily it's used to go a lot straighter than normal, than if you were to empty mini turbo normally. Also, another thing I'd like to mention is behind me, I have a pretty cool couch. We have Lafongo, Mario Kart Super Circuit legend, Chris, overall Mario Kart legend, KVD, SMK champion. We have Patrick, legend as well. So yeah, that's a very good couch. I haven't even said anything about myself. So I started playing Double Dash in 2015. So I started off doing some Grand Prix, saw a random run, and I was like, ooh, I gotta try to beat this. And since there, the community has been really cool. And it's really helpful. So I try to help with that as well. So if you're ever considering running Double Dash, I definitely recommend trying it out. Have some fun. Another great thing about Mario Kart like this is that there isn't really like a strat you need to learn or full routes. You can just kind of go your own way and figure it out from there. Now, Mushroom City is really ATEC based, as I was just talking about. We really abuse that technique of going as straight as possible in order to save more time by taking the tightest lines. And speaking of tightest lines, you gotta watch out that you don't go too wide, as that is actually the biggest factor of time loss for most people. When I started out and learned some lines, I immediately saved a lot of time. There's a bomb there too, I gotta watch out for that one. I had 31, it's actually pretty damn good. If I can keep that up, that'd be cool. Alright, so let's see if we can dodge that car, good. And there should be another truck at the very end there. Another interesting thing is that some people use the mushrooms here at the end, but like on the right, but it's not actually faster. You're better off using it somewhere else and just mini turboing here. However, you have some difficulty with it. Not too bad. In the 136, good stuff. So on speedrun.com, we use RTA timing for this, even though there's a beautiful in-game timer for this run. But we do that to basically sift out the runs that have breaks in between or are 50 hertz. So the difference between 60 hertz and 50 hertz is that with 50 hertz, the game is a lot slower. It runs in 50 FPS. And the timer runs slower as well. So technically, for time trials, it's better to use 50 hertz. However, pretty much everyone that's playing Double Dash right now is using 60 hertz. So that's so good. 60 hertz is, in my opinion, more fun. And I think it's faster too. I know it's faster. But I feel like it's faster to learn the game in as well. 50 hertz takes ages. It's slow. Don't play 50 hertz, kids. Like drugs. Alright, so a little bit of history about time trials here. Since that is the primarily community of Double Dash, or any Mario Kart game, is the time trial community. Speedruns aren't really that common. It's more of a test of skill. Also, these Shy Guys are insanely tricky. Whoops. There we go. Got punished, but pretty cool dodge. So, yeah, the time trial community is where it's at. A lot of people play there. And another great thing about time trials is that there's no RNG. As you can see right there, it's pretty tricky sometimes, and time trials are a true test of skill. So if you're into that, definitely recommend it. I've been time trialing since 2015, August or something. I got World Champ. Actually, last time I was here at BSG was in November 2016. And I just became Dutch Champ at that point. I think rank 6 in the world. I was pretty chuffed about that. And then around, I don't know, half a year later, I suppose, in March 2017, we got a new World Champerino. After a crazy week of insane progress. Alright, so DKM. Some of you might know the shortcut. We do it a little faster. I don't know if I can pull it off well. We'll see. Alright. At least I made it. So the bridge is actually pretty tricky here as well. In time trials, this is not one of the favorites, I gotta say. There's a few funky people who enjoy this. I'm not one of those people. I prefer flat tracks and just circuits as a whole. So we go on the right there to save some time from air. Air slows you down a shit ton. Oh. Yeah, okay. It's really tricky to do it there because there's the lightning. I actually called it. The, oh, let's see. It's really hard to do it. Oh my god, okay, cool. When you're lightning, you go a lot slower, and you get stuck almost immediately at the fence. So what you want to do, whoops, is you want to grind that fence. Oh, nice placement. Alright, there we go. And I should go to the right of the cannon to set me up better for this corner. So with that trick, you kind of grind against that wall, and right when you're about to jump off, you hold the opposite direction. If you're lightning, it's really tricky. So, and dodging in blue is really hard because of the bumps. You can't dodge really in the air. Besides, it's only like 1 frame or something that you can actually do that in. Alright, that's how you're supposed to do it. And let's not fall off. Cool. Superb. Apart from that second lap, this was actually pretty good. Also, I forgot to mention in Sherbetland, which was the previous one, there's ice physics, which can actually be really fun to try out before you really learn A-Tech, as it kind of makes you slide about already. Alright, so Daisy Cruiser, I don't like the track in time trials. And another thing is pool skip right here. I won't do that right now in the first lap, since every time I go for it, there's a red shell. It's consistent in throwing me into the pool, so I don't want that happening. Also, I cancel that bounce with it drifting a bit. So last week I was practicing for this run, and the world record has been at, or at least for a while, been at 27 minutes and 41 seconds for a few years. And then Andreas came along and he first tied it. Andreas being actually, I believe he's a previous champion, but he was ranked 2 for the longest time. A really good player as well. And you might have seen him actually at SGDQ running Double Dash in 2016 as well. But eventually beat Guider, which was the old world record holder, by, I don't know, a few milliseconds. It was nothing pretty much. And then eventually I came along, started playing GP. I beat it just barely or something by 27:36, and then lowered it a bit. Then optimistic email, you might see me in chat, I'm not sure. Well, he may have fallen asleep. We'll see about that. I'd have to go right there for that shell. That was a terrible placement of it. But he beat it for a little bit, and then the day after got a 27:18. However, last week, also no sub 140, but this is still really good.
Do we have time for a few donations?
Oh yeah, sure.
We have 2 donations. The first one is a $22 donation from Anonymous saying, Lufingo sucks. Creative and Ultimash say hi.
Thanks, guys.
And we have a $15 donation from KVD saying, go get World Reki Goomba. Shout out to Lufingo on Coach, the Todd Rogers of Mario Kart.
I'll try my best. Alright. I got distracted, yeah. What a trick. Alright, so this is my favorite track, Mushroom Bridge. So I think what I was saying before, actually I can't really remember, but it was very interesting. Oh right, I got 26. 26:59. Got 19 seconds off. So that's pretty much the target that's done. Alright, so let's see if we can get a good lap here. Mushroom Bridge is all about finesse and like tight lines while keeping up the mini turbos. It's really hard to do at top level, but once you get it down, it's so much fun. Alright, so lightning, if you actually get hit by cars, you go faster. So you can try that too. It's a little time save for when you get struck. Alright, let's see. Pretty good so far. As you can see, I'm actually releasing those mini turbos right before the corner. I'm trying to do that to get as much out of those mini turbos as I can. Because if I start another drift, it actually cancels that mini turbo speed. So what I should do is keep up a nice rhythm, and then I go as fast as possible. 26.2, it's pretty good. I think the fastest no shoomer I had there was around 25.9, a low one. This is good. Almost halfway done already. Or we're actually already. Well, yeah, just track and then we're halfway done. Alright, so Wario Colosseum. This track is really well known for its long spiral. And the thing with this spiral is that it has a certain technique to it. gets used on other tracks as well, but this one is where it primarily shines. This technique is called R-Tech. You may have noticed we call a lot of techniques tech with a letter in front. That's just a theme, don't worry about it. So what I do is I pump the R button in like a certain rhythm and way, and because of that the cart pulls towards the inside, making me turn like a lot better than usual. Right here I brake a little bit because even with R-Tech you don't really make that corner too tight. This is one of the few spots you actually brake. So here you go on the right because that's a lot faster than actually making that jump. As a kid I was really surprised to find that out. It was actually faster to go around. You know, you see the nice shiny ramp and you're like, yes, this is it. You get an item box that is actually slower. You got scammed. Oh, it's just barely not the sub 1 opener, but let's see if we can get sub 2 if there's no RNG. Would be cool. Alright, so a lot of these things I do here are just optimization of time trials. If you're starting out, I wouldn't recommend like watching those videos. Just watch something that's about like your level or a little bit higher than that and learn from that. Slowly build that up. Alright, 128, that is doable, but it's gonna be tough. Alright, that was good. Very good actually. You can already see a little bit of that 8-second action there where I go a little bit sideways. But there will be other tracks soon, which I'll be able to show it a lot better than that. Alright, smooth 8-sec over there. Line up for the last corner, and sub 2, please. Yes, good stuff. Clap. Alright, let's see what the next one is. Ooh, dry. So an interesting aspect of a dry is pretty recently I found out that if you sandbag, which is dropping back into a lower spot, you can actually get a few cool items, which that's perfect RNG. Alright, fucking genius. I'm sorry, but that's genius. Alright, let's go. Oh, the star. So it's pretty rare to get this kinda. I'd say it's around 40% of the time. However, at least for other streamers, I've seen that they don't really get it that often. Maybe I'm just lucky on that aspect. I might be. But what you use... Uh-oh. Yeah, there's no dodging that. I can't back up for the shroom. Scam. Alright, let's go around. So that's a common thing that happens when you sandbag. But that's fine. So the fastest time here on time trials is actually a 1:28.3 done by me. However, the fastest Grand Prix time is actually a 1:27.700, which is definitely like an improvement even from a pretty optimized time trial time already. So that's why it's so worth it to go for that item and try your luck with the roulette wheel of Mario Kart items. Alright, shouldn't be a terrible one. I believe I heard a blue shell, which I don't think I've mentioned, but they are dodgeable as you have seen, but you have like a 1-frame window or something for that. So apart from that second lap, that was actually pretty decent. I would have kept the shrooms though, would have been beautiful. There's another spot where I sandbag. It's in Bowser's Castle, but we'll probably see that at the end of the run. Never mind, I get jinxed. Alright, well that's fine. So here, I dropped back into around 6th or 8th place, and I tried to get a blue shell. This is really rare though, so if I get this, that'd be insane. Oh my god. Okay. That's pretty damn lucky. This chance is way lower than the Dry Desert one, and I was already amazed by that one. So, let's see. I really hope I don't mess this up. I can't get lightning as well. I don't want to say it, but it is a thing that's possible. What I want to do is right here, I want to finish this lap. At the end, there's a balcony, which I just drove over. I'm going to drive around. I'm not going to throw. Alright, there we go. It's a lot safer. Alright, so here we go. I'm gonna need to concentrate for this one. I'm just messing it up. Oh no. Alright, that should be good. What? Oh, there it is. Okay. There was a little difference, but we got it. Cool. I think what happened there was I was a little bit too close to the flagpole or the finish. But we got through, so that's cool. Actually, in the special cup world record, the same. Uh-oh. Is that blue? Oh my god. No! Okay. Oh my lord. This opportunity is almost never there. This is insanely rare. It's only happened 2 times before to me. That would have been absolutely insane. I think I was just too far to the right there. I didn't know how much time I had for the blue, and you need considerable amount of speed to actually get through there. But at least I got the first one. Quite happy about that. Definitely worth trying for the second one. In case you're wondering, it says around, I don't know, 15 seconds. It depends on how good you are in that. Okay. That's fine. Thanks. Please. Can we snipe him? No, we can't. Better not shoot us. Alright, well that's still fine. 218 is pretty right? So yeah, it says around 15 seconds or so. The fastest time with a double Bowser skip like that, as we call it the proxy skip, is around a 157. When the world record is a 216, so that's insane of time save. Speaking of skips, I guess it's throwing everything at us right now. Let's see Waluigi. So it's actually fast to go around the mud. I kind of messed up there, but that's fine. It doesn't lose any time. Oh, yeah, that's undodgeable in the mud. I decided to go a little bit wide for the next lap, so the green shell won't be there. Alright, so here's the skip. It stays around 2... Ouch. Ouch. 2 seconds. Let's see. Should make it. Cool. And as you can see on the mini-map, now I'm ahead of the computers. Pretty good stuff. It's just a small shortcut you can do. It's actually not allowed in time trials. But in Grand Prix, it's definitely allowed. Alright, so that's a lot better. Hopefully that red shell won't hit me right here. Thank you, Retro. Now let's see if I can get another one. Alright, so here we go. Yeah, should be good. Alright. Now the 3 out of 3. That's the magic number. Be really cool. Good eat lap actually, that's really good. Normally you get like around 31.5 if you're decent. But to get to 30s, I think this shouldn't help with that actually, thinking about this. Alright, so here we go, no pressure. Nope. Alright, so that actually shows how finicky this thing actually is. It's the really tiniest of spots on that wall which you can hit. It does allow me to show off like that. You can actually diff over ramp and save some time. Well, I did get bombed in the opener. But apart from that, it was pretty solid. Alright. Next one, we have Peach Beach. It's another pretty flat track. However, there's a few tricky things about it. So, first of all, they are the Kappa Quacks, as I like to call them. They like to troll you super hard, especially when there's a red shell. I did get lucky there, but a lot of the time, there's a red shell, throws you into the Cataquack, and the Cataquack is like, oh cool, nice treat. I'm gonna throw you up in the air. And then the C is like, cool, I'm gonna eat you as well. And then you land pretty much all the way in the sea, you got nowhere to go, and you lose around 20 seconds, just because of that one red shell and the Cataquack. So, aside from that, Peach Beach is pretty straightforward. You just have a straight line with some corners. There we go. Another tricky thing about dodging blue shells is afterwards, you you have the little explosion as well. And sometimes, right... Oh, what? I didn't even see that one coming. That was a little unexpected. So that's another thing that can happen, actually. Blue shells aren't really consistent, so it's really hard to actually build muscle memory for it, because it's different every time. Alright. And then the straight. Oh my god, no. No! Wow, that's insane. I've never seen that many blue shells here, actually. It's really hard to dodge on the straight as well, since with A-Tech you still have a little bit of the A-Tech effects even after the mini turbo, or the mini turbo afterwards. So if you want to turn and quickly move yourself forward, you can't actually do it. So it's pretty tough. Alright, Dino Jungle. There's a cool shortcut here. However, I need a shroom for that. I could do it shroomless, but the chances around top players are around 1 in 50 and 1 in 20. I seem to be able to get it 1 in 3, but it would waste a lot of time if I were to go for it. I'll try to show it next lap. Like, I'll try to drive by so you can take a quick look at it while I go full initial D mode. Alright. So right here you want to go in between to not get any air. And the same with this, you want to not drift too much. Dino lag, actually, the hitbox is completely terrible. It's all the way off to the left. So on the right you can be a little bit tighter. Alright, let's see here. Yeah, I hope you can see that. So on the bridge, you can stay on the left edge of it, like all the way on the side pretty much. And if you do that, you can keep the speed going and actually make it over. Just barely, but you can do it. Or you can get pretty decent times without it. So if you're starting out, you don't have to worry about it, luckily. Else it will be a terrible, terrible track. And luckily, it's not that bad most of the time. I saw that one coming. I'm upset at myself for not throwing the green shell. So, since I almost never fall there, I'm not used to this spot. Almost never, yeah. Gotta make sure I get those rare occasions in. Alright. Guess I should have gone for it anyway. This hopeless Dino Jungle. Shoutouts to Jacob Purcell, actually, who loves this track. He got me into time trial when I was watching another stream. You link the players page. It's mariokart64.com/mkdd, where the time trial rankings are. It looks really like a really old site, and that's because it is. But I promise it's still active. Lots of people are still playing to this day. And yeah, be sure to join the community. Alright, so here we have a really cool track. Even though it looks insanely simple, the history behind it is absolutely insane. So before I get into that, I want to see if I can get this strat a little bit. It's pretty tough. Only 2 people in the world can kind of nail this. Also, there's a banana right there, so I guess I need to turn around. Ouch. So that's Baby Park. Items can travel over the wall. So, around the time that I got world champion, there was this guy called Vincent. And Vincent was an old player. He was really good at the game, but he kind of stopped playing. And all of a sudden, he showed up at Discord. I was like, hey, you guys have the Neil Stratton Baby Park, right? Well, what about if you add this technique, R-Tech? And we were like, oh, yeah, we kind of tested that. I mean, it's cool. It works, but it's not as fast as what we're doing right now. And then Optimistic Emo, I mentioned him earlier. It's like, all right, well, what if I combine this sideways technique together with the R-Tech? And all of a sudden, this strat was born where we go sideways like this the whole way through. And the world record went down from, I think it was a 103.73 something, which I got 2 days beforehand, actually. And then it went all the way down to a 102.9 within, I don't know, a few weeks or something. So that was an insane barrier to reach, as the 103 was already kind of rare. And then all of a sudden we just, I don't know, crash course all the way down to the 102. And the world record right now is at 102.6, 61 even. And I believe it's possible to get the .4 in a super optimal God run. However, that is pretty damn tough. Mario Circuit is not really that interesting, except you have a few family members of mine in a bit. Those are really annoying, actually, especially the first lap. It's really hard to get through them. And then you have these piranha plants at the end. Luckily, they're not active in time trials, so I don't have to worry about them. However, in Grand Prix, they like to bite you, so that's not good. Same with this jump, actually. It's not active in time trial. Which, again, makes time trial a perfect thing if you're not into RNG. You just want to, like, chill out with some normal practice. Alright. So, there we go. In the corners, it's a lot easier to dodge those blue shells if they're at a normal speed. On the straight, it looks really cool, but it's insanely tough. I can only do it a few times per run. Well, I mean, like, first session or something. Alright, so lightning seems to be pretty common in this run. And that's because it is. Lightning happens a lot of times, and it's not like actually... Oh no. Shrooms are dangerous. Don't get them. So... That was close. Lightning... I don't know, it's average to happen like around once per 3 tracks maybe. But it can get a lot worse, and you can get even multiple per track. It loses around 3 seconds, depends on how wide you get thrown. And it's the only thing that's actually undodgeable. Sure, you can get some blue shells sometimes. But lightning is the true run killer, I suppose, in that aspect. All the items in Bowser Castle. Try to Desert Road 2. Alright, so we've already arrived here at Rainbow Road. A beautiful track. It's a road that you go. So, the lines right here are pretty straightforward, apart from a few bonks. Actually go towards... Oh, I guess I'll shut it off next time. Alright. Don't need that red shell. You can drift here, it's pretty easy. No sweat on the forehead. And just drift right through here. It's another star, but it's way out of reach, so I'm not gonna get it. So the time actually ends on when I cross the finish line in lap 3. But yeah, for now, let's just focus on not falling off, as it still happens to the best of us, but it's a lot more rare. But just like to notice that before I actually do fall off. So right there at the end, I also use R-Tech to go through that spiral a lot faster. If you're starting out though, you can do a little tech called L-Tech, where you hold R and mash L. And that way you can go, well, I mean, it's not as good as R-Tech, but it's pretty alright. It kind of has the same effect. Alright, so what I do here, I go on the right of that zipper, and it might look like I'm losing time by accident. But what I'm doing is I'm slightly delaying myself, so that I have time for a mid-air mini turbo, which saves around 0.2 or something. So it's all about those tiny little things all adding up. For example, since my record is now at 26:59.873, if I have missed that mid-air mini turbo, I wouldn't have gotten the sub. So it's pretty important. I'm not gonna do it here as I don't feel confident enough. Alright, here we go. That's pretty much impossible. Alright, and on to the last lap. Normally I'd aim around sub 1 laps, but since blue shell lose around 3 seconds, not bad. Alright. That's a lot of bananas here, jeez. Okay. Oh. Alright, one time last drift. Hopefully there's no bananas. Alright, seems good. Onto that last beautiful curvy straight. And this should be around a 303, maybe a little bit faster depending on the air tech. Once again, once I cross that finish line, it's timed. It was pretty good actually, I think, so far. Especially if I had gotten that proxy Bowser skip. All right, here we go. And time. I think that's actually a pretty good rainbow road as well. All right, let's see that in-game time. Well, very nice. The 27. Yeah. So that's why those tiny things are important. All right, so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Remember, if you want to join Time Trial community, feel free to join the Discord linked on speedrun.com. And thank you very much, BSG, for hosting this. Thank you.
Thank you, Goomba, for your